Arise, minions, and batten down the hatches as we leave behind the safety of the Humblewood to check in with the crew of Dark Fortunes.
Hello, I'm Rory, aka Final Gambit, and I'll be playing Silence Furuiken, level 1 Mapok Warlock.
Hi, I'm V Muse, and I'm playing Sionnach MacTyre, the level 1 Vulpin Fighter.
Hi, I'm Mike, and I'm playing Mimir Elderbrand, level 1 Corbin Bard.
Hi, I'm McLovin. I'm playing Auryn, the level 1 Servant Barbarian.
Hi, my name is Johnny. I'm the Dungeon Master. Welcome to the Dark Fortunes podcast.
Are you looking for a great story? Do you love Star Wars? Do you like podcasts?
If you said yes to any of these, check out the Redemption Podcast.
Well, I have less in my head than you do normally, probably.
You haven't met the crew I'm with. Pretty much everywhere we go, our life is in danger.
Things didn't explode. That's pretty sneaky for us.
That sounds horrible.
Yes, please finish up whatever underhanded thing you're doing on the computer terminals at the Jedi Temple.
Check out Redemption Podcast at www.redemptionpodcast.com.
Previously on Dark Fortunes, our little band of miscreants have found themselves at the Razor Den. So close together, but yet so far. Silence finds himself surrounded by the Jurbine Sun Guards as Mimir and Sionnach weave their way through crowds looking for a young boy, all while Auryn readies himself for the gladiatorial bout of a lifetime. Things are about to heat up as the gathered crowd chants for the city's champion.
The arena is alive with noise. It is a cacophony. There are screams and yells. There are various sort of like calls for Auryn, champion. Just all kinds of like noisemakers and there's a couple of trumpets. And you're hearing just all of this noise as a dull, dim sort of background buzzing as all your focus is on your target as you're charging forward in front of you.
So I heard some Milo in the background, right?
Hold on, yeah, we're getting to that.
Okay.
So you're charging forward, the rage building in you. Your target is in front of you, making his own charge. And you are closing a distance of what, the arena is a quite a large setting. It's about 100 feet in diameter. And so as you're closing into this particular situation, like you're getting like to 40 feet, you hear a noise coming from the background. And you hear it's Milo. Hey, what's going on? What are you doing? No, I'm supposed to be down here. And it just pierces that rage and that sort of dull buzzing sort of in the background.
So Auryn would like slide as he hears that and turn to look. And what would the audience see? So
as Auryn, actually, you know what? I think I need some sort of a check here because you're sort of in a blood rage. This is a situation where you just have all of a sudden focused in on this particular thing, and for you to kind of stop and kind of transition, I'm going to need some sort of like a dexterity roll of some kind, like a just
acrobatics, athletics.
Athletics would probably be good.
Okay. That would be an 8 + 5, so 13.
All right. So you are actually able to kind of stop in a way, and you hear the sounds of the crowd just continue to build and roar as you come out of this blood rage. The knoll is continuing to make its charge, but you break eye contact with the thing as it continues, and you look back around. And as the camera kind of pulls out, this is what you see. You see a Vulpine and a Mapok, both trainers you recognize, grabbing onto Milo and kind of dragging him back inside of the cage or inside of the gated area that you were let out into. From the sort of the under area of the Razor Den. And as you kind of catch this, you hear the grunting and snarling getting incredibly close as the gates close behind Milo.
Okay. So the gates are still open?
The gates are closing. Like Milo is inside and now they're closing.
How far away are they?
You're a good 50 feet away at this point.
So as he looks, he doesn't see what you described. The audience would probably see the Vulpine and the Mapach drag off Milo. What he sees, it's very much like a mirage, like hallucination with like his rage, like bubbling, and he sees a small servant child, a male, and he very much like there's like tiny like horns, not like full like antlers, but like ones that are like growing. And he sees two gnolls dragging off. And as the door shut, that's what he sees. And he feels that rage, and he hears the snarling behind them and knows that he has to deal with the present danger before he can deal with that. And you just hear Otis, and then he turns around and begins charging. How far away is the gnoll from me currently?
So you doing this takes a fair bit of time. It catches you in distraction. So as you begin to turn around, the gnoll is right on you and about to slam into you. So it's about to be an initiative.
Okay. Is he 20 feet away, or he's 5 feet?
No,
okay.
He's right. He's 5 feet. He's in your personal space at this particular point.
All right. I am swinging at him in a rage.
All right. Roll initiative.
Oh. You beautiful, beautiful bean footage. I rolled a 20 plus 2, so 22.
Wow, you are very lucky because he rolled a 16 and he has a plus 2 as well to his dex, so it would have been an 18. So 16 and 8 or 16 and 22 or 18 and 22.
Okay. So in a rage, I am swinging down at this gnoll, and
hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. So as that begins, you turn and you shift and begin to make your motion, and the camera is going to cut to silence, surrounded by a crowd chasing your friend. You got stopped by the guards, the sons of the brother, 4 Gerbine carrying large glaives towering over them. 2 are pointed at you directly behind you. 1 pointed at you directly in front of you as the 4th Gerbine slowly makes their way forward, grinning at you, reaching for your blade.
Does Silence know? Can he peripherally like understand what is happening down at the fight where the pit is? Is he getting any of that, or?
So last thing that you caught about the fight as it was going on down there was you heard the crowd going wild. You saw that there was action going on. Your last look was that there was a servant facing off with a gnoll, and there was a strig, tiny, off to the side. But the crowd, the sort of the noise of the crowd, the cacophony of the cheering and the calls for Auryn, the champion, the people's champion, all just was drowning out everything that was actually being said, in that direction. So all you got to see was that one sort of vision of what was happening there. And now you're facing down as this Gerbine is like just grinning with just a sinister kind of grin as it reaches out for your blade, reaching out for the hilt of your blade.
Silence's mindset is that he needs to get his sword and get out of here, because he doesn't think if this Gerbine grabs this sword that he is ever going to see it again, and it is his likelihood. So he needs to find a way to get that sword and get away. Now, this area he is in is this stadium filled with people. He needs to get to a place where there are few people to get in his way. So he wants to go for his sword and then jump into the arena where there are few people to get in his way.
Initiative.
Oh, good. That could be good. That could be bad. I don't know.
The forager being rolled a 3 and they have a +3, so it's going to be 6. They're going at 6.
I rolled an 11 with the +2, so I'm at 13.
Wow, this just really isn't my day yet so far. Mike, you need to get into this. We need some 2s.
Okay, right. Uncalled for.
What? I'm sorry.
Totally
so
called for.
That was a 13 for silence, right? You see the motion. It's almost dramatic. It's slow. It's like everything slows down and you see the hand reaching out. And as you feel the tension in your body begin to kind of build, as you're ready to make your pounce, we're going to cut to Mem. I told you we were coming for you, buddy.
I'm good.
Are you? The jerk looking down at you from a couple of steps up, looking at you at the city, sort of standing there on the bench, the crowd beginning to go wild as the fight just has begun. Auryn the champion, everybody is screaming and yelling, and yet the jerk's voice stands out. It's a little deeper. It's a little, more sort of authoritative. Aren't you crafty?
I'm sorry, have we met before?
You got out of your bonds. I would think you would remember who would put you in bonds.
I was a little drunk, and many people have put me in and out of bonds before in my life, so it all begins to blend together at some point.
Pity. This should be the last time that you remember, as he begins to slowly draw the sword and kind of points it in your direction.
Mim immediately looks to his right for wherever Sionnach went, because this is not a fight he's prepared for, and she's far more capable than he is when it comes to physical content. And so he looks over, hello, trying to find her, obviously not seeing her, having slunk through the shadows. He turns back and says, "This is a crowded area. Anyone could be in danger of being injured. This seems very reckless. Are you sure this is where you want to do this?"
My skill ensures that only you will feel the tip of my blade. It will only taste your blood. It will only remove your feathers.
I would rather like them intact, if I were being completely honest with you.
And as you say that, he steps down and the tip of the blade begins to push into your clothes, into your jerkin or whatever coat that you're wearing, just ever so slightly to let you know that he's right there, that he has you.
Now, is he in front of me or behind me?
He's in front of you. You were facing down at the crowd, kind of looking around, and then you heard his voice. You turned to your right, you looked up a couple of steps because you were kind of at the end of the bench, right near the steps, and there he was.
Okay.
So as he steps down right in front of you, blade extended, nobody else in the crowd taking notice.
Dope. Now this arena, it's I assume stadium tiered seating down to a ground level, Coliseum, right?
It is exactly that. Is it a Coliseum with benches and steps that lead all the way down? You know that there are some areas that are designated specifically as boxes. It is all inset into the ground. So this is all quarried out of the ground, of the bedrock that is right here. So the majority of it is a part of the actual structure itself, the actual like geological structure that has been carved out here.
Okay.
I've seen that look before. What are you doing? What are you thinking about?
And how far across is it to the other side of the stands?
To the other side of the arena?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I'm imagining the incline to be probably somewhere between 80 and 100 feet. The arena, as described where Auryn is currently in battle, is 100 feet in diameter. And then there's the other side that is the exact sort of same 80 to 100 feet that is an incline. There's at least 10 rows of benches on the incline.
Uh-huh. Cool.
Shit, what are you going to do?
Is there a chance in hell that I can see Sionnach wherever she is? I know where she was going.
You can actually, you can sort of see her, standing out in the crowd. And as you were scanning around, you got the awareness that she is, what I would say probably 4 or 5 benches worth of steps down the incline, looking into the crowd that is essentially sort of off to the right.
Okay, cool. I'm going to do 2 things, Johnny. One, I'm going to say something out loud that looks like it presents as though it is to this Dirk. And he just kind of looks in his direction and says, I need you to tell my friend a message. And as I say that, I'm going to step off of the bench that I'm on and leap forward towards the arena and extend my wings. And as I'm saying, deliver a message to my friend, I'm casting the spell Unseen Servant. And at that moment, Sionnach feels a grip on her shoulder that kind of turns her just enough so that she, by nothing, and just enough so she can see me leap into the air and begin to slowly glide down the rows of benches towards the arena.
1,
Mm-hmm.
I need some initiative.
Mm-hmm.
2, weren't you the guy telling me that flight sucks in D&D and that you never include flight in games in D&D?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about. It's a great skill. I play an Aarakocra in all of my games.
You're a dick.
I rolled a 9.
Hold on, let me look. You rolled a 9.
Mm-hmm.
He rolled a 22. He got a 19 with a +3.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So, as you begin to make your leap forward, or leap up, his blade begins to move, and that's where we cut to Sionnach. Hey, I gotta do this. Sionnach is looking in the direction across the crowd into essentially the boxed areas that are set up as a part of the sort of stadium incline where the benches are. You have made eye contact with the Corvum. He is looking at you very clearly. He's taking in every detail. And for a moment, you break eye contact with him. And you look down towards Tomlin, and Tomlin realizes something is wrong as he turns and looks up at the Corvum. At that moment, the crowd is going wild. There is this sort of like crazy cacophony and, of noise just sort of building for Auryn the champion, Auryn the people's champion. And there you're close enough to the arena floor that you hear some of the noise coming from it, and you hear the calling of Milo. It's the Strig that was in the arena calling out, protesting, wondering what was going on. And you hear the snarls coming from the knoll. And as you watch Tomlin, you ignoring all of this, watching Tomlin kind of look up back at the Corvum, you meet the Corvum's eyes again, and there is a sinister and dark look of anger in his face. What do you do?
I give him a little sly grin, and I tip my hat to him, keeping eye contact the whole time.
At that moment, you feel a little tap on your shoulder to the right.
I'll glance over my shoulder.
As you look over your shoulder, breaking eye contact for just a second, you see that Mim is facing down with the Dirk. The Dirk is beginning to move forward, and you see that Mim is trying to jump up. He's making a leap up. You can see the motion. You recognize this motion from the body, from other scores and other situations that the two of you have been in. You can see that he is definitely in danger and making his attempt to change the situation the best that he can.
I'll look back over, and this time making eye contact with Tomlin, arch my brow and stick my tail straight up again. And in the same motion, I'm drawing out both of my scimitars and turning more towards Mimsy Deer, who seems to have gotten himself in a pickle again, and hope that Tomlin gets that I still have my attention on him as well. But I have to take care of this flying monstrosity first.
Roll for initiative.
Of course.
Ironically, you were the only one who is not rolling against anybody right now.
That's a 14.
All right. So as you pull your blades, see the situation going on, and begin to make your move forward, camera switches back to Auryn. Noel's coming at you within your space, 5 feet. Hearing Milo scream, seeing Otis disappearing behind those gate doors. It's time for your attack. Describe what you're going to do and then make it.
It's like as he's looking back and he like his ear like picks up that the null's right there, with like instinctively is just swinging his great axe up at this, and he's like and just like ripping his axe forward in a super rage. Does a 16 hit?
It does.
All right. This will be for 10 damage.
Nice. Very, very nice. Okay. So as you kind of instinctively turn and swing the axe up, the knoll just takes it sort of in the sort of like chest area where there's a little bit more armor, and you can see that there is chain that he's wearing as you get close up, and it just kind of rents and just kind of digs in through the chainmail, and you see that your swing has created a little bit of a gash and a split between where the chain is right there as chain pieces are starting to kind of fall to the ground. Its momentum kind of carrying with you, or kind of carrying the momentum that he has and kind of turning him a little bit as he begins to lose his balance and spin out in a way. As we cut to the Dirk, looking at Mim swinging forward, or is moving forward with his blade to kind of attack, he's going to stab directly into you. And so he's going to make his roll, which is, sorry, it rolled off. It's a 2.
Oh, thank God.
Shit. So
the curse of twos.
Shut up. It's related to you though, which is really funny. So he
May
makes
the
his
twos
attack
be with you.
Right. So as you make your jump, you start your momentum and you make your jump. It catches him off guard so much that the blade, as he stabs in, it kind of veers off to the side and it nicks a little bit of your clothing, but otherwise leaves you completely unscathed as your motion kind of carries you up and beyond his reach in that particular moment. And we switched back to the Knoll, who is now going to make his attack as he kind of spins around and kind of grabs onto, his blade that he has in his hand, sticking it into the ground a little bit because it's a glaive, and he stops himself from moving around and immediately moves in for a charge, making his attack with it and getting a 15.
Miss.
So Auryn, as he kind of comes in, he kind of pushes forward with his blade and just swings at you, but you're able to kind of spin around and kind of dodge it, and you continue the momentum shift as you kind of dance away from his momentum and position as he kind of steps past you. And we're going to cut to Sionnach. The Dirk has made his attempt on the attack on Mim, but he has failed. You're about 20 feet from him down these steps. What do you want to do?
I will advance up 10 feet and sort of just deftly swing my blade so they're not really hitting anyone, but narrowing my intense yellow eyes at this fellow, trying to put myself between Mimsy and him, and quip at him. Perhaps you need to find a fight elsewhere, love. This isn't one you want.
He turns to you at the sort of hearing your voice over the din of the sort of the noise coming from the stadium, and he kind of looks and he smiles and he says, "Oh, a challenge."
No, a warning.
Presents himself in an sort of on guard kind of a situation.
Oh, she's ready for this.
He's waiting for you. It's your move.
All right. Well, let's see here. That's going to be my advancing then, and with one of my scimitars, does a 21 hit?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Damn it.
I like my new dice from Level Up.
Seriously.
Okay, so damage on this one is going to be, forewarning, I'm using a muse die.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I love these things. That's going to be a 9.
Shit. Okay. So when you attack him, describe where the hit is going to land. Like when you come in and make this move, where is the attack going to land?
It's actually very subtle on her part. She holds her scimitars down so they're almost tucked underneath the flaps of her overcoat. And as she walks up to him, she flicks her wrist up and it actually pierces right up and through his sternum so quickly and deftly that you wouldn't think that she was stabbing him so much as about to give him an embrace of fondness instead.
As you come up close, the flick happens. You see a moment of pain just kind of dance across his face, and his demeanor of, suave, swashbuckler kind of nature changes. And he says, that hurt. That hurts a lot. And he begins to kind of make his move for a counterattack as we cut to silence.
Hello, loves. This is Sionnach MacTyre, though some may know me as Mac. Come join me and my motley crew as we explore the seas of Humblewood. Humblewood is an exciting new campaign setting for D&D 5e that includes original playable races, new monsters, magic items, and a compelling adventure for 1st through 5th level characters. You'll love the variety of options you'll find. Available now at deckofmany.com/dark fortunes.
Silence. This gerbine in front of you is grabbing for your blade. You are posed and ready. The energy is coiled in your legs. Your tail is kind of angled out in such a way that's going to allow you to just, leap and lurch and make this momentum. Describe to me what happens.
As Silence lurches forward to grab at his scabbard and grab his blade to get out of there, he will also, as his action, utilize his mercapitan gland that all skunks have, and he is going to spray it into the ground, creating a noxious gas within 5 feet of him. So everyone within 5 feet is going to be suffering a little bit and will need to make a con saving throw.
All right, so let me understand if I'm getting this correctly. You're going to leap forward and then do it, or are you going to do it? You're going to let off the gland before you leap forward?
Whichever gets the gerbine that is going for my sword in range.
You're going to leap forward and do that. So you're going to,
okay.
It's almost like it's not a dash. It's not, it's like a quick motion. He's within 5 feet of, or he's within 10 feet of you. So you're going to move like 5 feet, grab it, and then let it off at the same time. So wasn't expecting this particular move. Let me go ahead and bring up the guard's sheet.
Okay.
And it's a saving throw against, it's a constitution save?
Constitution save, please.
Thankfully, he's actually good at those. No. What is the effect?
They are nauseated as this stinging aroma enters their nose, and they have disadvantage on saves and attacks, and they will have to make a con save at the end of their turn in order to get rid of that effect.
Jerk.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
All right, so we see Silence dash forward, grab for the sword at the same time as the gerbine is grabbing for it, the sun's guard. You see his paw, his mouse-like paw, kind of begin to kind of grip around, and you slide it out from under his hand. And at that same moment, you let off your gas, and it just catches him, and his panic moment is such that he breathes in deeply. As you take the blade from him, you moved quicker than he was expecting, taking a full sort of like lungful of this like noxious gas that you just let out. What are you doing now? You've only moved about 5 feet. There's a lot that you can still do in this particular situation.
I am trying to sprint down towards the arena as fast as possible. Like in my mind, I've never had to use this gland ever. It is like the epitome of fight or flight, and it is not the way of the white stripe to use this particular defense in like sparring matches. So like deep within silence, he's like, I am so sorry. But at the same time, he's like, you kind of brought it up on yourself, as he's just jetting down the stairs as much as he possibly can.
There is a simple laughter, a childlike almost, in your mind just for a second. As you make your darting forward, you dart another 10 feet forward towards one of the downward sort of steps that are between the sections inside of the arena, and make your way down about 15 feet towards the center of the arena, which is the arena floor. As we cut to Mem, you can now jump and then begin to glide. Talk to me a little bit about that.
I'd rather not. The more I say, the more you make me do things. He summons forth his invisible servant, or his unseen servant, to grab the attention of Sionnach, and then he just sort of like plants one of his clawed feet in the ground forward. And because I think the Gerbine are like, they're what, like 3 feet tall, 4 feet tall?
They're considered small humanoid creatures, so they're actually about 2 feet tall.
Perfect. And as a Corvum, I am like 6 feet tall. So I'm going to plant a foot towards this guy. Well, life imitates art. And he leaps forward, like almost over, possibly even like attempting to bowl this guy over. Now that he knows like Sionnach is here, he like leaps over and begins to extend his wings, because close combat's not great for him. And so he sort of starts to glide down, realizing that there is a arena of violence beneath him. He sort of ends his glide fairly quickly, only probably going maybe 20 or so feet. Because he can't leave Sionnach in a lurch. His intent was to make her aware of what was happening. And if rescue came, it would be great. It would be much appreciated. So I think he lands probably like 20 or so feet away down into the crowd. And then turns back towards the Dirk, and shouts through the crowd. Is that all we can expect from the great mercenary, the Dirk, being bested by just the tiniest of women? Trying to like drawing the attention towards them. And I'm using vicious mockery.
Shit. All right. So up and over as you're doing this, and we'll do the vicious mockery in just a second. So up and over, you jump some 15 feet into the air and spread your wings, catching a little bit of the drift that's coming from, the air as it's kind of moving around the arena. As you're beginning to kind of shift forward, you watch as Sionnach moves in, gets her deft blow, and you kind of like shift over and land, just close to the edge of where the stairway is. And as you turn, and he has to make a saving throw. Yes.
Wisdom saving throw, DC 13.
Yes. He is clearly going to fail that wisdom saving throw.
Hell yeah. He's going to take 2 points of sass damage.
I don't appreciate the way that you guys are taking on my NPCs. This is really not working for me.
Because now that he's been thoroughly sassed, he also has disadvantage on his next attack.
Of course he does, because I hate you so much.
Love you.
To which it's now the Gerbine's turn that are surrounding Silence.
Also, I want to say the crowd turns to look at him. Now he has an audience.
I wasn't going to give you an audience. That's not very nice.
I shouted it in the audience, so at least people are turning to look at Dirk.
All right, fine. They do.
Yeah.
They do. All right. Can I move on now? Can I move on? And actually attack silence.
That's fine.
I don't appreciate that.
Are you feeling targeted or judged?
Slightly.
Well, you are the only one that's facing down 4 NPCs at the same time.
Yeah, it doesn't make me feel mighty that I just squirted and left.
Go. Good day.
Sorry, guys. We're done. Good night. All right. The 4 Gerbine each have their interesting different reactions. The one that you affected is coughing and just beginning to heave a little bit as it tries to turn and make a move back towards the direction with which you took off, but it can't actually get its momentum back. So it's slowly beginning to move. You are not seeing this. However, the 3 other ones immediately realizing something really sinister happens to their one companion, their one brothers in arms. The 3 of them just begin to make their way and scurry towards, and they run towards the top of the stairs leading down. And you can hear them as they're beginning to kind of scramble and figure out what they're going to do next. You hear loud yelling and calling, but you can't make out actually what they're going to say. Giving you a moment to kind of look back up, you see that the 3 of them are there, and one of them is about to make their charge down towards you. As we're going to cut back to Auryn.
It's clobbering time.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because I'm a little concerned about that.
So Auryn is he does that little maneuver to get out of the way of the glaive. He is now bringing his great axe back behind the knoll to his back as he's doing that little maneuver and just in fury just going vengeance, and he got a 18.
All right, that is definitely going to hit.
That will be 11 damage.
Jesus. Auryn, can you stop killing or attacking my NPCs or something?
Hey, this is Auryn, and I can't stop this train.
All right. Well, you do 11 points of damage to him, and as you do, there is a large gash that begins to kind of form, and blood starts to mat at the fur where the contact has happened. And he lets out a snarling rage, and you can see that the drool and sort of saliva is just beginning to kind of pull, and you almost get a sense of a mad, the frothing of the mouth is just over and intense, and you can see that the guttural rage that is building in this creature has now gone from pleasure to intense desire to murder.
And
as we cut,
and Auryn at that moment will look him in the eye and be like, "That's what I want to see."
As we cut to the Dirk in the warm embrace of a fellow swordsperson, kind of pushes back a little bit and makes sort of a swinging attack with their blade, with his rapier, as he kind of swings around and just tries to kind of get you in sort of a slashing motion to kind of get you to back off. And he's going to roll. Does a 15 hit?
Just hits, and that was with disadvantage because of vicious mockery, right?
Oh, you are absolutely right. I'm sorry. Thank you very much.
I barred part-time.
Yeah, so he rolled a 17 there. So I'm really sorry about that disadvantage situation, but yeah. So let's see, rapier. How about 5? He basically comes around and kind of pushes you off and slices at you a little bit, doing 5 points of damage.
Okay.
And as that motion happens and you begin to kind of step back, the two of you are again facing off. We switch back to the arena, and Torgan is making his counter move as the blood is beginning to flow and mat his fur, and the rage is kind of just all over his face. As in response to what you just said to him, he is going to throw himself completely at you, just taking his glaive and just bringing it around, swinging it, and making his attack with an 8.
Johnny, I have bad news for you. That does miss.
That doesn't sound like it hits.
No.
Yeah. All right. So as he kind of makes his swing and kind of brings it around, he telegraphs it way too much. Obvious that he has spent way too long in the arena, in the free cities of the Paw. And so he is making a big show of it, and he doesn't realize what he's doing. And so his swing goes so wide that you're able to sidestep it and just kind of like look at him and be prepared for your next attack, seeing the angle open, giving you the opportunity to do so. And that's when we cut to Sionnach, I'm sorry.
Okay. So
the distance is now about 5 feet between the two of you, as he's able to push you back a little bit and get some breathing room.
All right. Well, he's caused me a little bit of damage, and not a fan of that one. So let's go in for another swing, shall we?
Okay.
And that is going to be a mathing, because I rolled ahead of time. That's going to be a 24.
Please roll for damage.
Johnny, I just want to bring up, like, you've played games with us before, and I mean, are you surprised?
Yes, actually I am, because we are rolling real dice here. Roll 20's RNG always screws me. Anyways, what's the damage?
Damage is going to be 6.
You are not allowed to attack my NPCs either. All right, this is not allowed. This is not allowed at all.
This is D&D, love.
All right. Okay. So where are you sort of angling on him? So you're below him. He doesn't have the higher ground. This is not a Star Wars thing, but he is slightly above you on a step above you. So you really have more access to like parts of his body that he's unable to kind of defend to. So where is this attack going off?
Right in the hamstring.
Wow. Okay. So as you do, the blade kind of goes in and nicks a little bit of that muscle, right? And you can see that it's got an immediate effect as he loses his balance for just a second and kind of shifts back, thus giving him a little bit of a disadvantage, because he fights with his right paw, and you got him sort of in the right leg. He's just kind of like shifting a little bit. He's beginning to lose and compensate for that particular side of his body. And so as that change in stance, begins to happen, we cut to Silence, making his way down the steps.
Could I take an offhand, though?
You sure can if you'd like to.
Yes, let's go for a nice little offhand then. So straight up, that is going to be, it didn't roll quite as nicely, so that's going to be a 12.
Yeah, that's not going to hit.
Not going to hit. Okay.
So as you kind of come in with that offhand, he kind of bats it away and looks at you with such fury that he has become this vulnerable already in combat. He didn't expect to face off with you. He expected to be facing off with Mim, and he's like, that bird's friends are going to die quickly, and then I'm going to kill that bird too.
Or you could leave right now and live, rather than trying to kill everyone else who you may not be able to get to.
I'm not sure who runs this establishment, who I work for, but they're never going to give up on you.
Oh, I'm not sure you know who I work for, darling. Tit for tat?
Wow. And he kind of like, he begins to make his next move as he begins to push in, as we cut to Silence. There are 3 Gerbine at the top of the stairs, one making their way to dart down after you, right? These Gerbine guards with their glaives, small, nimble, sort of mouse-like, their hind legs just ready to pounce and head in that particular direction. You 15 feet down, looking back, seeing the situation behind you. The crowd is going wild for the battle that is happening, sort of in front of you. You're about 85 feet from the arena floor. What do you do?
Silence is trying to think about how he could, throw these people off their step, maybe toss an Eldritch Blast out, take out a small blade that he uses as an arcane focus, his Wakizashi, but there's a high chance that it could hit an innocent, and that is not the way of the White Stripe. So he is like full Naruto dashing down these stairs as much as he possibly can. Just like, I got to get to that arena, then I can fight them off, then I can get rid of, the people who are on my tail, almost literally.
Make me an athletics check.
I don't want to.
I know you don't. That's why I'm asking.
I have a -1 in that. Okay. That's an 8 minus 1, 7.
So it's not like you stumble and fall, but you're definitely having a little bit more difficulty. You're able to make the dash, but not as quickly, you're not as quick as you think you are. So you only make about 45 feet because you've got people kind of stepping in and you're dealing with an uneven surface. You are definitely still generally within range if these Turbine guards make their dash towards you. The sun's guards make their dash, but they're definitely not going to be able to get you right away. It's going to be a struggle and a challenge for them. But so as you're kind of navigating through, you hear the crowd continuing to go wild for Auryn as he continues to devastate on his opponent. And you can just, as you're able to take in what's going on in front of you, as you're kind of dashing around, it's also a little bit distracting. And that's when we're going to cut to Mim.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm done. I think I'm good where I am. I'm just going to stay here where it's safe. It looks like Sionnach has this handled. I think I'm just going to sit down, eat some popcorn, and watch the rest of the fight, if I'm being honest with you.
Well, I mean, if you really want to, that's perfectly fine. But the reality is that I'm going to throw something at you.
Okay, cool.
Take action then.
Cool, thanks. How does it look like the fight is faring from where I am?
So when you break away from the action that is Sionnach taking on the Dirk, and you look down, you see that the Servan, the one that people are calling Auryn, the people's champion, is just making devastating moves on the knoll, left and right. The knoll has begun to just build into this furious rage. And Auryn just continues to kind of either bat away its attacks and then counterattack, and it doesn't look well from the knoll. It looks like Auryn is going to win the day again.
Great. Now I'm so glad that the entertainment is good. How does the fight between Sionnach and the Dirk look?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the other one. You're a jerk.
That's perfect.
Hi everyone. This is what it's like to game with Mike. Fucking jerk. All right. So it looks like that's going well too. It looks like she is taking, every advantage that the jerk is giving her, because apparently he is taking steps that are just not working with what appears to be a much more skilled swordsman.
Okay. I am going to, as a bonus action, command my unseen servant to move back into this fight scene, right? So I'm going to command him to move and interact with this scene. I don't think there's any reason why I can't do this. I'm going to have my unseen servant use the help action. And essentially what he's going to do is he's going to be invisibly standing behind the Dirk. And when he goes to do moves, the thing's just going to pull at his clothing a little bit. It can't attack him. It can just be only irritating. It's essentially like an assistant for Mim in shops and barding and carrying things. So anytime it goes to attack, it tugs his hat, right? Because he had a big foofy looking hat, and he has crazy outfits on, and he tugs at his pauldrons or whatever, or taps the haft end of his the hilt end of his sword rather. So I'm using the help action, which would give Sionnach advantage on her next attack. And then for my action, I begin calling like a barker, basically. Sort of pulling audience members away from the fight of Auryn, because everyone's apparently seen Auryn win 100 times. That's not entertaining anymore, right? But seeing the Dirk bested in the streets is new and exciting. So I'm calling the attention and putting all of the words in the favor of Sionnach. And he's like, Everyone, look around. Stop what you're doing. This battle for the ages is not happening here in the arena. It's happening in the stands above. Look here, the Dirk fights side by each with someone of no name or renown, and she is besting him quite handedly. Who is this mysterious fighter easily besting the Dirk? What a mercenary could they be? And again, I'm using Vicious Mockery. So DC 13 Wisdom save.
DC 13 Wisdom save. You realize you're a jerk, right?
Yeah. I made a bard. What else do they do?
I mean, I'm rooting for the Dirk at this point.
Perfect.
I'm kind of, I mean, I kind of want to take a picture of this because I
Did you roll a 2?
No, I rolled a 1.
Perfect. That's even better. Great. Great.
His feelings are so fucking hurt right now.
They really are, because he takes 4 points of sass damage and has disadvantage on his next attack.
So yeah, we'll talk about that when that rolls around. I'm gonna stop holding back a little bit with these characters.
He deals 4 points of tears damage as hot tears straight down his face.
Wait, so let me just make sure I understand the mechanic of this, all right?
Mhm.
So not only did you initiate the help action as a bonus action with your unseen servant,
Yeah.
which gives Sionnach advantage.
Yeah.
His next attack roll is at disadvantage because of your Vicious Mockery.
Yeah.
You really are the definition of a jerk.
Yeah.
Or a bard.
I mean,
Those words are
tomato, honestly, by this point.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll take that.
All right. All right, man. We're gonna switch to the Gerbine, as the Gerbine behind Silence, essentially 60 feet behind you at this particular point, one after another are kind of barreling their way towards you, using the dash action, moving at 30 feet or moving at 60 feet. Just definitely kind of like navigating it. But because I had you roll for it, I'm also going to have them roll a collective sort of athletics roll on this particular situation. And yeah, they actually succeed. So they definitely move around any, obstacles in the crowd and navigate those stairs pretty successfully.
As though they have a positive modifier to their strength, mayhaps.
Well, yeah, so sure, yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. So they make their way following you, and they are close at your heels at this particular point as they continue their pursuit. To which we cut back to the top of the initiative order with Auryn.
Auryn, seeing this Noel fight terribly, is not letting up, is not getting cocky about the fight. He's going all in and coming at him with another 18, 13 plus 5. With, at this time, 12 damage. 7 plus 5.
All right, so narrate us into this particular attack, because you're going at him right now. But give me a little bit more something from a story perspective that I can narrate like the response.
So it's as he's doing the telegraphed move and he sees it coming in, Auryn steps back but he brings his great axe into in front of him and starts spinning out of the way and spinning towards him and fucking bringing it right into his side as he spins in and moves in to the knoll closing the gap between them. And go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. No, please continue.
And as he lands the attack, he's like, "You are in my way."
And as you do that for the first time, and it was, how much was the damage again?
12.
12. All right. As you do that, as you close in and you speak that in rage, for the first time, real fear enters the eyes of the creature. As if something has gone off. He has been so used to winning when he is in the arena, and he so thought that he had this fight. He was not engaged in executing. He was not fighting for his life at this point. It has been so long since he has fought for his life. And for a moment, fear passes through his eyes as the growling just sort of stops just momentarily before it begins to intensify as his eyes kind of narrow, moving in. But there is a huge flow of blood coming from the side of his body now. It is clear that, he is now fighting for his life. Do you want to take any other actions?
Let me see what I can do.
You want to move away, that kind of a thing?
Actually, I'm seeing my antlers. I don't know.
You're not going to attack this guy with your antlers too, are you?
I might right now. But I'm seeing if that's a bonus action or an action. I'm
assuming that attack is an action, but...
No, okay. So I can choose to attack them as like a gore. But if I charge them with my antlers, I can do an extra D6 damage, and that's when it's a bonus action, and that they have to be 20 feet away. So currently that's not the situation. So
thankfully,
can I do a intimidation roll against him?
That, to me, that seems like it's another complete, sort of action in and of itself.
Okay.
So I don't think so.
That's fine. Then I'm not breaking. He's up in his face, and he's going to murder the shit out of this Knoll.
Well. Imagine
surprise.
That. All right. So that the blood sort of flowing, eyes narrow, moments of fear in the Knoll's face, and then a sort of reigniting of the rage. We cut to the Dirk, favoring his right side, kind of off kilter a little bit. Just beginning to kind of feel the pain sort of going through as the insult comes in from them. And just for a moment, you see even more lack of confidence dance across his face. At first, it was just straight anger. He had gone from sort of a playful nature to an angry nature to a moment of just like doubt as he kind of looks at you and just makes his move in and attacks Sionnach again. And he comes like slashing in with his rapier for a 20 natural. So let's see how much damage this actually does to you.
And you rolled the disadvantage too from Vicious Mockery?
Oh, you are absolutely right. I'm so sorry. Thank you very much. Thank you for being... I rolled an 18.
Okay, 18 will still hit, but it's not critical.
Yes. So he rolls and gets... he's going to do 6 points of damage to you. And so as he kind of comes in and he makes his slash, he moves quicker than you've seen him actually move before. It just is this sort of like blinding sort of like fast motion, much, much stronger, much more confident in the move itself, as if it's completely instinctual. He's figured out that he needs to stop playing with you and that to treat this as a serious fight as he makes his second attack. This will also be at disadvantage, if I understand, right? Okay. At this point, he rolls and he gets an 11 as the disadvantage, and he kind of comes in again. So his first slash kind of comes in and gets you for that 6 points of damage, sweeps around, kind of brings it back in at a second time, kind of slashing back, but he's off balance, right? He's still favoring that right side. And so it kind of comes back and it swings wide as he staggers back a little bit, preparing for you to counter for your attack as we switch to Torgon, the Knoll. who then, growling with rage, close face, sort of like, face to face with Auryn, making his, sort of his push to counterattack, pushes at Auryn, and at the same time tries to create the distance to get his swing in with his glaive. Blood just sort of, gushing out of him as he makes his first attack with sorry, let me look at this real quick. This is going to be a 15.
Miss.
All right. So as he kind of pushes back at you to kind of make his first swing, he also makes his second attack.
Okay.
Sweeping in with a 16.
That hits.
All right. And this is going to be, all right. Wow. Okay. With 6 points of damage.
I'm raging, so I take half damage. So how is he hitting me?
So he swings in and kind of, uses the glaive to kind of begin to create some distance between the two of you. The first one kind of, you kind of definitely avoid and kind of step back. But with the second one, it catches you off guard as he also is moving a lot faster and a lot more confident than you expect, more instinctually, less for the show of the arena. This is a fighting style that you have seen before. And so it kind of angles back in and just kind of sweeps in with you and just nicks you, literally just kind of nicks you, kind of angling you, using the sort of the length of the glaive to kind of push you back a little bit.
I look him dead in the eye and go, "Is that all you got?" And begin getting my axe in his face.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
You say that every time.
And so, yeah, we'll see about that. Well, you know what? The multi attacks are starting to come out. These creatures are not, or these NPCs are not playing around anymore. All right. So Torgan, angles you back. You speak the words, the rage, the fear, sort of like the eyes go even, more tiny, focusing in on you as we cut back to Sionnach. The jerk is definitely off balance after that second swing. He is just not confident and not sure of what's going on. And you can see that as that's happening, as he's kind of righting himself, you can see almost like as if he's reacting to something unseen, touching him and grabbing at him, pulling at his coat or at his boots, tugging at his hat, kind of shifting it off a little bit. And he's kind of like dancing with a little bit, trying to figure out what's going on as he's trying to keep eyes on you, giving you your opportunity for an attack at advantage.
All right. So that is going to be 25 to hit.
Wow.
It's these lovely level up dice.
Yeah. So please.
All right. So
do damage.
That's going to be 7 points slashing.
Well, shit. Generally, where are you hitting him this time?
Oh, this time because he's done some decent damage to me, I'm getting annoyed and pissed off. So I actually swing up and higher and aim towards the jugular because, quite frankly, I'm getting tired of this.
Almost at the last second, as he's kind of like balancing and seeing, you swing and kind of bring it around. It cuts up on his body itself. And just like, the blade just digs into his flesh and his what he's wearing for what passes for armor. And it comes slicing up towards the neck and just nicks him right at the jugular, on his furry, neck. And it slices and it continues and gives him a nice big scar that's going to, like, as it travels across the face. And he is just taken aback and he steps back and he's off balance and he's using his tail to kind of like balance him in order to keep balance at this particular point because he's clearly off. What do you want to do now?
I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm actually going to use my second wind for myself as a bonus action. Okay, that gives me a little bit of health back, so that brings me up 6 more points. Yay! That's something. And then I'm going to look at him one more time. Listen, I'm not one to go around taking care of other talented fighters. Walk away from this one. Live to see another day.
I'm not going to take any advice from a whelp like you.
I love how you call me a whelp, and yet you have no idea who you're up against right now.
Well, that's... And he stutters, and he pauses for a second. And if I won't take you in this life, I'll take you in the next one. And he changes his stance, feeling completely confident, and pushes forward as you see that he's coming directly at you. And that's where we're going to end it.
Ah!
Son of a bitch!
Dark Fortunes is an unMadeGaming production and a proud member of the Don't Split the Podcast network. If you would like to learn more about the world of Dark Fortunes and get some behind-the-scenes looks, please join us on Patreon at patreon.com/unMadeGaming. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please take a minute to give us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. Thank you for joining us on this high seas adventure, and we'll see you next time on Dark Fortunes.